Imagine you are sitting at a completely rigged casino table. The house keeps pouring you free drinks, offering you VIP comps, and putting on a massive show of how much they value you as a player. But the game itself is actually mathematically designed to slowly drain your bank account. In a newly surfaced collection of journals and conceptual art notes from August 2026, a 50-year-old woman maps this exact dynamic onto domestic abuse. She gives it a specific name: Pantomimed Symbiosis. It's a highly theatrical fake partnership, like a parasite wearing your roommate's name tag. The abuser in her life fakes negotiations and compromises, but the goal is never to find an actual middle ground. It is simply to soothe their own conscience. They want the victim to accept a severe power imbalance without the abuser having to feel the inconvenience of shame. The free drinks of these false compromises are merely illusions. They are the friction reduction tools meant to keep a victim locked in a closed-loop game where exhaustion is the only possible outcome. This architecture of theft exists on two vastly different scales. Macrocosmically, she compares it to colonial history, where expanding empires staged elaborate diplomatic ceremonies to sign fraudulent treaties, making the theft of land look like a legal alliance. In her own living room, she sees the exact same fractal playing out. Both the empire and the abuser serve identical functions. They legally lock in the theft behind a veneer of civility. When this power imbalance is modeled in a home, children observe the transaction. They learn to either internalize that submission or mirror that entitlement. These behaviors eventually harden into patterns that repeat across the family tree, creating what the journals identify as a generational curse. The trap of this system is that the natural human instinct to fight fire with fire requires you to use the oppressor's weaponized language. Engaging with that language keeps you locked at the casino table. Because the oppressor defines the rules of the narrative, achieving fairness by playing their game is mathematically impossible. The journals suggest a radical solution. To break a generational curse, you must step entirely outside of language. You have to opt out. She replaces weaponized words with a sonic framework based on planetary mathematics. Here we see the literal planet Venus as a small black dot transiting the massive orange disk of the sun. The author uses this specific orbit as her foundation for restoration. The calculation is purely physical. You take the literal time it takes Venus to orbit the sun and mathematically shift that frequency up by octaves, doubling it over and over to speed it up. This doubling continues until the planetary rhythm crosses the threshold into the range of human hearing. The precise mathematical result of this process is 221.23 Hz. This frequency is not an esoteric idea. It is a literal physical mechanism designed to drown out the cognitive dissonance and the static of the abuser's pantomime. In sound healing traditions, this specific Venus frequency is used to foster inner harmony and emotional equilibrium. By tuning into this resonance, the artist creates an internal sanctuary that the abuser cannot access. She contrasts the absolute reliability of this planetary math against the chaotic, weaponized static of a toxic relationship. Tuning into this tone was her way of flat-out refusing to participate in the charade of negotiation. She stops trying to find middle ground in a rigged game. Stepping out of the language game starves the parasite of the energetic friction it was trying to siphon from her. True sovereignty is not found in external warfare or winning an argument. It is found in internal restoration, the choice to change the frequency you live by. This acoustic sovereignty serves a higher purpose. It is a tool to heal the deep fractures within the victim herself. Her conceptual art features 5 matryoshkadolls on a wooden dock under multiple moons. Each doll represents a different scale, a fragmented, past version of the woman who lived through the power imbalance. These nested dolls represent the parts of herself that were shaped by the cycle, each one carrying a piece of the trauma. Tuning in to the 221.23 Hz tone acts as a harmonic tool to actively soothe and restore all of those nested past versions simultaneously. The goal was never to change the abuser. It was to radically change what signals her own brain allows itself to tune into. The journals conclude with a final realization. Balance is restored when you recognize the abuser's tab is between him and his maker. That realization allows the victim to simply walk away. This realization leads to a state of grounded independence. We see that final shift here, moving away from the dark waters of manipulation and into the high-key clarity of the physical world. This framework forces a question onto our own environments. What invisible, chaotic frequencies is your daily life broadcasting right now? Are you unknowingly syncing your life to a rhythm designed to keep you trapped at a rigged table?